Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Keldeo. Now, before I talk about Keldeo's stats and stuff, I want to talk about how the legendary order of Univilla just triggers me so hard. I mean, look at this. We have the Swords of Justice, so that's a trio, except Keldeo's all the way over here. So that trio is actually a quad, but it includes a mythical Pokemon. Also, with the other trios, the Kami trio is split up, and then the Force of Nature trio is split up. Like, what is up with all this order? I don't get it all. We don't have anything that connects directly to itself, and it's really awkward, and I just wanted to point that out, because, like, what is going on here? Is it the Swords of Justice trio, but can we include the mythical Pokemon for the quad, and it's all the way over here, and it's just a mess overall. Let's just go and look at Keldeo stats. Keldeo stats, it's just going to be good for a sweeper. We have 108 speed, so we outspeed that, and then we try to hurt them with a 129 special attack. It's really balanced, honestly. Also, we do get a good defensive breakdown. That 90s in hit points and then 90s in defenses means we're going to be able to tank up a solid amount of hits. So we're a fairly strong sweeper that isn't absolute glass, and we can take a hit, which means that, hey, we can start converting a lot of KOs off of that, and it starts to work out pretty well. Look at its typing. It's going to be a water fighting typing. Now, this is actually not that great of a typing because you have 5 weaknesses: flying, grass, electric, psychic, and fairy. Pretty much you just get hit by whatever and it's going to hurt, but you do get a lot of resistances as well. So you can bring Keldeo in a lot of situations, but you don't want to leave it in too much. And also, even though you have like 90s and stuff on the hit points and defenses, unless you're going to invest into them, which doesn't really make sense for a sweeper, it's going to make it to where you're going to get one shot by still a lot of super effective hits, so you will need to go with caution on that one. Hopping into Pokemon Showdown, Keldeo is going to be an interesting Pokemon. So first off, I want to compare it to Terrakion, because Terrakion and all the other Swords of Justice Pokemon trio, quad, whatever these guys are, you know, you get a 91 hit points, 108 on the speed, then you get 2 90s, a 129, and a 72. That's just how all the stats of these guys are, and Keldeo is most comparable to Terrakion because Terrakion, it has the attack high, and it has no special attack, and it has good defenses overall. So Keldeo gets the same, except low attack, high special attack, and it's just going to be really nice. As long as we're outspeeding everything, then we're just going to go and win, and that's always a fun thing. So when we look at the moves, Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump, 110 base power, 80% accuracy isn't the best. It is better than Thunder or Blizzard for accuracy for the same amount of damage, but you don't get an additional effect. So that's just how this is going to break down. If you want raw damage, that's going to be very nice. Then we look at Keldeo, it is kind of easy to overlook the amount of damage it can do, but Secret Sword's a very, very powerful move. 85 special attacking fighting move. A special attacking fighting move that isn't Focus Blast that actually has 100% accuracy, that's neat in its own right. It has more damage than Scald, and it damages based on defense. So that means if they have a Chansey or a Blissey, that's a lot of damage on them. And then if they have like some kind of special defensive wall, you at least have damage options against them. You get a free Icy Wind, so you don't get Ice Beam, which is kind of weird, but you do get the Icy Wind, which compared to Hidden Power Ice, 5 less power, and since Keldeo is a mythical event exclusive, super duper exclusive rare legendary Pokemon, like, it's kind of good that you get the Icy Wind. Getting a Hidden Power or any kind of competitive Keldeo is incredibly difficult. The only time you're going to be able to use Keldeo is on a battle simulator like Pokemon Showdown, because GS Cup rules don't allow it, so even in VGC 2016 you're not going to see him. Most legendaries, like, kind of formats don't allow him. So if you're doing like super free battle, all legendaries allowed, you're just not going to see the Keldeo in standard play at all. So that's kind of a thing there. As for items, we can run Choice Specs, we can run Life Orb. It's up to you what you want to do, because Life Orb, less damage, but we can switch from our moves. So if we call for 2 Scalds and then the opponent brings in something, we can Icy Wind or Secret Sword. That works out pretty well. And you're going to be wanting to look for combos that, you know, if you see, alright, I don't one-shot him with a Hydro Pump, I'll 2-shot him with a Scald, do that. If he is threatening you physically, throw out the Scald. Maybe you get that burn and then you can convert damage. Icy Wind works out. If they're a Pokemon that's faster than you, Icy Wind into a Hydro Pump, and now you're only taking 1 hit instead of 2 from like 2 Hydro Pumps or 2 Scalds. So Life Orb does give you that ability to kind of switch things around. And the 90s on defense and hit points means we're not just going to get one shot by anything. Other than that, you can run Choice Scarf Keldeo, pretty much the same idea except Modest Nature. So this is going to be your Timid Nature fun, but this is going to be Modest Nature. So slightly less damage than Life Orb, but we're outspeeding more Pokemon, which kind of defeats the purpose of the Icy Wind, but we're only going to be using that for like Garchomp and 4 times super effective hits and moves like that. So that's your trade-off right there. Justified doesn't do anything for us, raises our attack by 1 stage, so we're a special attacker, we don't care about that. And we also do get moves, access to moves like Taunt and Quick Guard. So these are going to be good for doubles, but I feel that if you're running the Taunt, that's going to be like anti-setup, and that can work if you have that 108 base speed. But if you want to be anti-setup, I feel that if you go for a Calm Mind, that's going to be better as an anti-setup. You substitute in their face, so alright, you outspeed them, and then you substitute. If they were going for status, that's not going to work out. And if they're going for Stealth Rocks, now you got a free substitute, and then you're going to Calm Mind. So sub-Calm Mind, it's going to be a bit tricky of a set, because you can run Leftovers, or you can even run Life Orb. Like, in the perfect ideal situation, you throw down the substitute, they do some kind of status or setup, or they do whatever they want. You get a Calm Mind for free. Now you're at +1, and then you give for the Life Orb, which is 30% more damage. So without Life Orb, it's going to be like a Choice Specs level of damage, and you can still switch between your moves. And with Life Orb, you just need one Calm Mind and you win. If you can manage 2 Calm Minds, that's also really good because it does boost your special defense. So if they open with a special attacker, or special attacker comes in, and you're setting up Calm Minds, well, they don't really get to do too much to you, so then you just Hydro Pump for the win, and you have Secret Sword. So with this, we get special and physical defensive coverage, so we can clean up on anything. The only problem is that 80% accuracy, man. For all you know, you have the ultimate chance to win. The sweep is there, you're going to do it, and then that 20% chance to miss costs you the game. Like, say they hit your sub, you're in one-shot range, you were setting up, something like that, because you're pretty much going to break your substitute trying to set up that Calm Mind. So now you're pretty much on your own, but you're hoping to outspeed and destroy everything. Also, getting outsped is a problem with this set, so you might want to take care with that. But overall, this can be a very destructive set, and Keldeo in general is a very destructive Pokemon, because it just has that high base damage stab from the Hydro Pump, extra coverage from the Secret Sword, and if it outspeeds it, you know, it can tank up, it can 2-hit KO, it can 1-hit KO. It's a pretty solid Pokemon overall. So if you guys enjoyed the video, that's how you use Keldeo, and I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you for watching.